Hello, creative friends. This is Sandy here with you today, and I'm sharing another process video that I have done for my creative scrapbook using the March limited edition kit. This kit features primarily 49 in Market Toddler Time papers and ephemera, and as well as other ephemera, florals, and so many just bits and pieces that are so fun to work with, just like that little piece of chipboard there. Anyway, I chose this one paper that I had mentioned in the unboxing that I really did like, and I'm using it as is, not covering it with any gesso to fade it out or anything. I just really like it, but I'm putting in this little sliver of green paper, which is really the K& Company paper that we talked about, and I am going to use a picture of that's actually a picture of my mother-in-law from years and years ago, but I thought it's vintage and this would just be perfect paper and a perfect opportunity to scrapbook this photograph once again. And so here, once I get that center green piece laid down that's a little bit offset to the left, then I start playing around with what I can put um, as photo layers, behind my matting and my photo. And I'm using some ephemera that's from the 49 in Market pack, as well as I'm trying out some of the little tags that are from the Classic Pooh papers and just seeing if any of them will work. And, as I rewatch this video, it's a little bit of struggle bus here trying to figure out exactly what I want. So I took some time, but I thought it would be a good opportunity for you to see that it sometimes takes a while for things to come together and some time for designers to figure out exactly what they want to do, as they're going through the process. And so, yeah, I go ahead and I snip off my corners there, and I am, on a roll. But, in the end, some of it, much of it doesn't make it, especially the poo papers that are tags that I had hoped to kind of bring in. But, I am using some of the 49 in Market papers as well as the tags from that. And I am trying to use that little peachy pink one there because I just really thought it would go well with the papers that I'm using. And then that really large script piece, I really wanted to use that, but it just didn't seem to work. So I'd had a doily that I cut with one of my, die cuts from my stash, and I decided just to add that in as a layer and see how things would go. And so, here I am snipping in half just so I can save a little bit for the other side. This is going to be tucked there, behind that edge, and so I can use the other half at a different time. So anyway, so now I've at least got my matting, I've got a doily in place, and I'm committed to that tag there, and I'm just distressing it with vintage photo ink as well as with the distressing tool, and then getting that ready to adhere to my photo layering as it is so far. And here I'm playing around with that peachy pink one again, and bringing in some of those poo tags. And I left this as part of the video just so you could see that, it sometimes takes a while for things to come together. And so then I finally go with this little green ephemera piece that's from the 49 in Market collection. And I just want a little bit of a to show, so I trim it down. And then I'm going to adhere it on the side of this little photo area. And so that works really nicely in the end. And, I really like my torn edges down there at the bottom that I've used. It makes it look, more vintage, more distressed, older. Um, you know, like it's been around for a while. So I'm happy about that. And here I'm cutting some corrugated cardboard to lift up that part of my creation and get it up off of the flat part of the paper. You know, that brings the opportunity for tucking things in, or to, you know, put layers of flowers underneath your photo and that kind of thing. So that's why I'm doing that. Off camera, I do put a little piece of jute twine, you know, in my tag up top, and that's just postal mailing jute. You can buy it anywhere if, you know, they have it at the post office, you know, or any kind of discount store that you might go to. So anyway, here I am playing around with my florals to see where I want things to be. I'm using some of the larger little birdie flowers on the left side, and then I'm trying out that, you know, other cream flower, you know, on the right. And then I've got some of the peachy rose die cut laser cut pieces that are really pretty. It goes really well with the cream and the green, and just, you know, brings a little pop of color. So I really want to use them, you know, on this page. I think they look really nice, and my mother-in-law really loves flowers, so I just want to give her all the flowers, even though this is a baby picture. So I do fluff my flowers there. Always do that. Don't take your flowers out of the package and then just glue them to your page. Fluff them up, give them some character like they're meant to be, and I think you'll be a lot happier with the results. So there I'm trying to decide what to put on the side, and I go with that little piece right there that's from the Cartabella ephemera. And that would really work. It was a nice piece. I think in the end, though, I do cover it up with that little butterfly clock you see over there on the right. But here I am putting my T-square down so that I can be sure that my photo is in good alignment, particularly since I have so many layers going on there, and I know I couldn't use it on my, you know, laser square to see how things are lining up. So anyway, then of course I, you know, eyeball it. I always have to use my eye to verify the T-square. That's just a little quirky habit of mine. And then I decide, you know, I want to go ahead and use that other piece of doily because I already have it cut and it's ready, so it would look nice, and want to get it on there. So of course I fidget again, you know, with the florals, and I do go ahead and, you know, put that doily piece down. Just makes it a little more feminine, a little more dimension. You know, gives my other pieces something to kind of rest against. So I have to bring over a little piece of square corrugated cardboard just to elevate that one floral a little bit so it'll be more level with my photograph. So I'm doing that. I really like the leaves on these florals right here. They're really pretty, and I think I tore some off to add to another floral at some point. And those little pink flowers, pinky peach is what they are, but they're really an important part of the page to me. I really wanted them to be there. And so I think we all are a little bit, you know, ones that will fiddle with our projects because we are scrapbookers. We want to make sure that they look good to our eye. We want to make sure that they're balanced. We want to see if we've got the triangle. Just all of those things as we create, and what's going to look best. And what may be pleasing to your eye or my eye, you know, might not be the same. So if you try to recreate this and you rearrange the elements a little differently, that's okay. You know, we all have to do what we want to do with our pages. So I got that part done, and I'm bringing in that little circular piece there, and then looking at that one more time, And it actually would look nice up above or below, but I really thought that if I showed it, up against the white paper, that it would be a little bit more of a pop there, and add in some color, and you could visualize it a little bit better. So I do spend time trying to get the words lined up there to be even. And then that turns out to be much ado about nothing, which you'll see here in a few minutes. But anyway, then I get those two little banners that, I think they were from the Cartabella ephemera, if I remember correctly. But anyway, I do distress those with, a dauber I have on hand, which has got some peeled paint on it, and just staple those together and then tuck them into my floral cluster. As it turned out in the very end, you really can't see them too much because I come back at the very end off camera and I add some color around all my focal area. I add some art stones and that kind of thing. And so, they're not as dominant once I do that. And then I wanted to use that really big butterfly there, and then I find another one that goes kind of with it, and it would be perfectly fine up there at the top, but I do adhere it lower. And then I'm just playing around with little title or subtitles, and there I am bringing in that butterfly. Just playing around with that little subtitle to see where it might look best. I really did like it across the photograph because it is gray, and so it looks really best with the kind of, black and white photo. So there I am covering up those words, but I'm happier because it's a clock and it's got a lamb on it, and I think it'll just goes with my photo better, or as well. Either one would have been perfectly fine. But I do want to go ahead and get that piece adhered and then move on to the rest of the layout. It says, chase your dream. Yes, it's chase your dreams. And I just thought that was somewhat fitting because, my mother-in-law had a wonderful life, a wonderful story, and, left a large family behind. And so, I think that she really did live a really good life. And we're all better for that. Now there I'm taking that chipboard piece and I've sprayed on a little bit of walnut stain. And I did stain it quite a bit. I wanted to do that and see if that would work, but knowing that I was probably going to come back and add a little metallic paint to it, which I do. But anyway, I do get the walnut stain on there. It would be fine like that. It really pops and shows. So I think it would be fine. But I had toyed with the idea of using some of my rust effects on this page. Kind of wish I had, but I was going with the safe side and just decided to use the walnut stain just to keep it a little darker. And then this is Color Glow from 13 Arts. I was on their design team for about 4 years, so I've got all of their Color Glow products, which are powdered, and you just add water, or you can use acrylic medium or whatever. But I was just using water and a paintbrush to dab this on, and this turns out shiny, depending on what you mix it with, of course. But I just use water, so it is a little shiny. And then I take my heat gun just to heat it up and dry it. And so it's got a nice shine. It kind of gives a hint of rust effects maybe, but without being too dramatic about it. But I'm not a real shiny and bossy person, but this looked okay. It's got minimal lines, and I like the color. It goes nicely with the cream and the greens and the orange that's in the paper. So then I used my art glitter glue to put some adhesive on it, and I think I did cut some of that out of the video off camera so you wouldn't have to watch me dab glue on the whole entire thing. But having something with a very fine point will really let you, get it onto those small areas. And then with it being a little wet, I had to be real careful here. I used the words on the paper kind of as my guide for what's straight, just as well as my eye. And then I was able just to scooch the letters a little bit if they didn't seem entirely straight. And so, then I just kind of hold them down for just a few seconds just to make sure that they don't, pop back up. But that art glitter glue is very good about holding things in place. So I was happy with that. And then I'm going to come in with my butterflies. And these are really pretty. They almost looks more like moss in a way, which would be apropos for the page I'm doing. But, I really liked the dark green, and, I thought it would look really nice. So I used a smaller one there. And then I had here my green one, and then I pick it up because I'm not sure, and I try it up above one more time, but it would look nice up there, but I like it kind of clustered more with all these other elements, and then it's kind of right at the corner of that image on the upper right hand side. So I'm undecided there for a while, but then I finally decided, yeah, I should have just gone with my gut there. And I just used foam adhesive so I can kind of lift up their wings. I do it across, not just the body, but I do it across just to make it a little bit more secure on the page. Oh, I'm already at the end, so I'm going to wrap up. Off camera, I added some color around my photo. I used some art stones and pearls. Please look for all the details about how to order a kit in the detailed description below. I hope you've enjoyed my video. Give me a thumbs up if you did, and consider subscribing.